Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist.
1 Minute Apologist.
If you had 1 minute
Apologia.
to be able to unpack for the audience,
We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
A lot of times when people approach reading the Gospels, they kind of go with a skeptical outlook because they kind of get this idea in their head that the Gospel writers are biased because of their message. How would you kind of talk somebody through that idea there?
Well, as a historian, I'm familiar with what other philosophers of history and historians are saying, and it's virtually a unanimous consensus among the profession that there is no such thing as an unbiased or neutral historian. We're all influenced by factors such as our race, gender, our ethics, nationality, our political, philosophical, religious convictions, the way we were raised, the academic institutions we attended, the very group of people whose acceptance and respect we desire. That motivates us in every way. So it's not just Christians that are biased. Everyone is biased. And if that's what historians are saying when it comes to non-religious issues, then all the more so when it comes to religious issues. So whether you're Christian, agnostic, atheist, Muslim, we're all biased in that extent. Now, a lot of skeptics will say that we can't trust the Gospels because they were written by biased authors. In fact, the Gospel of John, the author himself says, "I'm writing these things so that you may believe." So not only is he biased, he has an agenda behind it. It's propaganda, so we can't believe it. But I would just reverse this on the atheist, the skeptic, and say, no, wait a minute. Richard Dawkins in his book says that his objective in writing the book, The God Delusion, was that those religious people picking it up will be atheists when they put it down. Is that propaganda then, because he's got an agenda? Should we reject everything Dawkins says because of that? Well, of course not. You got to look at his arguments. And so this really doesn't work. Bias tells us that the person may be giving us some poor conclusions.
Right.
But that leaves it up to us in our critical minds to weed through that and to analyze those arguments objectively to see if they hold up.
So it's possible, even through some bias, to come forth with the truth.
Oh, absolutely. If Jesus was who he claimed to be, the uniquely divine Son of God, and if he rose from the dead, and as you know, I believe we have astounding evidence to show that he did, well, then we would expect them to be biased. We would expect them to want people to believe the greatest news the world's ever heard.